Step into the new when you drive a Chevy. It's time for a fresh approach and a new perspective. And find the Chevy that's right for you. Find new experiences, find new roads. Chevrolet.
Hey, welcome back to High School Game Day here on the Missouri Sports Network, MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. Brought to you or coming to you live from the Pizza Ranch studio. Pizza Ranch with more than 7 locations across the state, about to be 8, hosting the Quarterback Club, Tip-Off Club, coming up here in December. Also presented by Central Bank of the Ozarks, Doak Propane, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, Liuna, Local 663, building Missouri roads. Great Southern Bank, Shelter Insurance, Burgess and Associates, and Great Southern Bank. We welcome to High School Game Day Reese Spring Wolves head football coach, Andy McFarland. Coach McFarland, thanks for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Coach, first off, coming off a 4-7 season a year ago, now you're 9-2. You're on your way to the state quarterfinals. Talk about this season and what you had to replace going into this season that you lost to graduation.
You know, every year it's a part of the game in high school football. You're going to lose some guys that were key to the success that you had, and were leaders in the locker room as well. And for us, of course, last year was no different. We lost a couple guys that are playing college football right now, and that's Blaine Blevins, who was our center. He was a nose tackle for us on defense. He was our long snapper, and all three of those things are important pieces to any kind of success that you're going to have. And then we also had Evan Gross, who was our slot receiver and free safety. We lost our strong safety as well, and a couple other pieces here and there. And you know, we had some young guys step up, or some upperclassmen step into different roles. And you know, I couldn't be more proud of the leadership and the dedication that this current group of seniors, we have a big senior class, the dedication they've had to constantly improving and focusing on themselves. And I guess the proof is in the pudding, as they say. We've had a great year because of their leadership.
Yeah, and you know how playing in the Big 8 conference obviously prepares you well for a postseason run with the likes of Seneca and a Nevada team that was very good this year. Won a district title there in Class 4. Seneca is still playing. Then you go into that week 9 there, and you get a Mount Vernon team that is young, but all those freshmen and sophomores are sophomores and juniors now at this point of the season. You get an overtime win there. Talk about how the conference kind of really prepares you for that district run and now into the quarterfinals.
Yeah, there's no weeks off in the Big 8, and I think both sides were pretty strong this year. You know, the West overall had they've got more teams still playing, but you know, teams on our side of the conference that might not have advanced in district play doesn't mean it was an easy out playing those guys. Marshfield and Rogersville are always rough and tough, and they've got some very talented players. And you mentioned the Mount Vernon game. You know, you can't go through an experience like that. And I'd throw the Seneca game in there as well, which was kind of a shootout with let's see, about 8 minutes left in that game. It was 49-all, and we had a chance. They'd scored, and we had a chance to score, and just fell a little bit short. But you know, you can't go through those experiences without learning something about yourself as a team, and the players understanding that if they continue to do the little things right, no matter what happened last week or what happened last play, if they just focus on winning the next snap, they're going to put themselves in a position where they're going to have a chance to win the game at the end. And you know, we've had some guys step up in big situations and make one play when we needed them to make one play. And you know, I have felt like just looking at the big picture, that we have gone through some things. I mean, we've had some adversity. We've lost 2 games, so it's not like there's been a whole lot of terrible things happen to us, but we've had some adversity to overcome. And I feel like we've gone through things in a way that only have prepared us for more success. And you know, you hate to learn a lesson the hard way, but we had to do that in week 2 at Nevada, and it really allowed us to kind of take a step back and take a look at what we need to do better. And I think without that loss in week 2, I'm not sure we have 9 wins on the season. Our kids really dedicated themselves, like I said, to improving and focusing on the little things that will make the difference in an overtime game like the one we had in week 9. And so I'm thankful for everything we've been through this year, and I'm thankful that we don't play in a conference where we're going to blow everybody out and then start playing tough teams in district. Like, we've been through it all, and you can't play in close games the way that we have without developing a level of confidence that you are going to need whenever you're playing tough opponents in the playoffs.
Well, just to that end, that week 9 game at Mount Vernon that went overtime, then you draw a very tough draw in the first round districts with a Cassville team. I had to come out and help you there. You get a touchdown victory, and I know the weather. Probably, I believe in that game there was the weather's been kind of bananas right now.
Yeah.
With Mother Nature not knowing what she's going to do, but that really had to prepare you for that Cassville game.
Like Cassville, when we faced them, they were 5-5, and you could look at that from the outside. And at the time, we had won 8 games, and we were 8-2. They were 5-5, and think, okay, well, this one's just going to be an easy out, and we're just going to show up and win the game. We knew going in it was going to be a battle. They've got some great players. They've got some great coaches. They had some guys that had been injured the previous couple of weeks that made it back for the game against us. And then, like you mentioned, we had other variables at play with the weather. We actually moved our kickoff up to 5 p.m. that night, and we still only got a quarter in. And Cassville had a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, and lightning struck, and we had to go inside. And then we ended up not coming back out until Saturday afternoon. It was a weird way. There's no coin toss. There's no anything. It's the whistle blows, and it's goal line challenge. Here we go. But no, you throw that in the mix of things that we had to go through, and you got to deal with weather delays and the uncertainty that comes with that, and then packing up and going home and coming back the next day. Like, all of those things, I feel like you can't go through it without feeling like you're better prepared for anything. Just no matter what happens, we're going to be ready to go. And I'm proud of the way our guys have fought all year long, and we haven't just rolled people up and spit them out. We've had to earn everything that we got this year, and we've been able to do so.
And then a week ago, you get a good Osage team that comes in, and at this point, everybody that you're going to see is going to be good. They wouldn't be at this point of the season and playing on Saturdays if they didn't have some success. 35-6 there. What'd you feel like really went well in that game for the Wolves?
Well, going into that game, Osage had won 7 in a row. They were 7-3. They lost their first 3 weeks, and included in those losses were Pleasant Hill and Blair Oaks, so 2 really good teams. And then they won their next 7. And over that time, they averaged like 45 points a game, and they had 3 running backs and a quarterback that were all very talented runners, and they were running like a shotgun wing T type of thing where there's lots of misdirection and linemen pulling everywhere, and it's a big task. And coming off the game against Cassville where we held them to a single score, and we showed up against Osage. We knew we were going to have our hands full defensively. They scored on their opening possession, and then we absolutely shut them down. And you talk about the story of the game. It was our defense playing so tough and giving the offense the ball with great field position all night long. And offense capitalized on that sometimes, and sometimes we kind of sputtered out here and there. But we made plays when we needed to, and it really started up front. Our defensive line has had an incredible year. Everybody has heard about Caden Weist, I think, the Missouri State commit. He's got a lot of attention, but we've got several other guys that we wouldn't have the success we have right now without them. Evan Crane, he's a defensive tackle for us. He was our conference defensive player of the year on the same team with Caden, which is a huge honor. And he's an interior D lineman. Right now he's got over 100 tackles, and that is not normal for those guys to have that many tackles. And it only happens when you have a guy that has a special motor. He's always running the ball. And that is something that has been I don't know. If I was watching film, it'd be intimidating to see. These guys don't stop, man. But we got Moses Barr next to him. He's a great big, 6'5", 300-pound kid playing our nose tackle spot. Josh Lowe, who is new to our district. He came last winter. He played at Joplin, and he's a senior this year. He played for us. His dad's a wrestling coach at Reed Spring. And Josh has done a great job at defensive end. And our linebacker, everybody defensively has had great games over the last few weeks. And I couldn't be more proud of them. That would be the key to our success.
Going into this game, you've got Boonville coming up. Talk a little bit about the Pirates. You've got one like opponent on the season. You both have been able to really put the ball in the end zone. Maybe a shootout here. I don't know that it's going to be 49-49 in the fourth like it was with Seneca. But what do you know about Boonville, and what are you going to have to do to kind of slow them down?
Well, I think you talk about putting the ball in the air. It's going to be cold and windy on Saturday up in Boonville, Missouri. So that might have kind of in the Cassville game a similar impact. It might come down to who's able to control the line of scrimmage and run the ball well. And we're hoping that's us. Like I mentioned, that's been a strength for us this year is that offensive and defensive line. But Boonville, offensively, they're a spread team. And what they want to do is spread you out and hit you with little quick screens in the pass game, and then it's a whole lot of quarterback run game. They have a pretty dynamic kid that is very, very athletic. He's not very big, but he's really quick. And they do a lot of power read, counter read, zone read, quarterback ISO, quarterback sweep, and that's the name of the game for them. And he kind of drives that thing. And defensively, primarily they're a 4-3, 2 high team. They play quarters or cover 2. But the games that we've seen them kind of shift around. I think they're going to try to throw everything they can at us, and so we're going to be prepared on offense for any front. We've seen them all at this point of the season, but they play really hard. I think we're a little bit bigger than they are, but overall they've got athletes all over the field, and it's going to come down to, like I said, I think it's going to come down to who can control that line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And also I would throw in there, we spent a lot of times on special teams this week. Boonville is really aggressive, especially with their kickoff team. They're going to onside kick every time, and that adds another element of preparation to the game. And when you got a team that's doing things like that, anything can happen. So it's going to be a fun Saturday afternoon.
Coach, between now and then, when you get on the bus, when are you hoping to arrive at Boonville, and kind of give us your layout over the weekend?
Well, our community has been really fired up about this. The last time that a Reed Spring team played in the quarterfinals was 1980, and I wasn't born yet. So, so they have gone out and they got us a charter bus, and we're actually gonna get out of school a little bit early on Friday, and we're going to have a practice here at our stadium. And then we're going to have a team meal and a speakers, what we normally do the day before the game. And we're going to get on the bus Friday afternoon and drive on up and stay in Columbia, and then get over to Boonville on Saturday morning and get ready to go. Kind of a normal pregame schedule, just happening a few hours earlier in the day. So that's the plan right now, to travel on Friday and be ready to go on Saturday. And, that's anytime you are taking a group of teenagers on the road like that, it makes you a little bit nervous, but I'm confident in our guys' ability to stay prepared and make it kind of like a business trip and business. And like I said, it's another opportunity for us to go through a different experience and plan the travel and do all of those things. And we're hoping that pays off, somewhere in the next couple rounds of the playoffs that we may have to do that again. And so it's going to be a fun experience for all of us, I think.
You bet. Well, Coach, anytime you're playing on Saturday in November, you've had a tremendous season.
Absolutely.
And it's got to be a lot of fun. And I greatly appreciate you being generous with your time. I know there's a lot of things going on. And but one, congratulations and best of luck. And go out and get a win. And maybe we can have you on the scoreboard show on Saturday, and you can tell us how you did it.
Sounds great. Yeah. Thank you for your coverage of high school sports. Go Wolves, man. Let's go get it.
You bet. Andy McFarland, Reed Spring Wolves head football coach, as they prepare to head to Boonville, Missouri, and take their 9-2 record on the road. You're watching the Missouri Sports Network at MissouriSportsNetwork.com, where everyone has a home field advantage. And as always, the Missouri State Highway Patrol reminds us to take that 3 seconds and buckle up. It's 3 seconds that could save your life. Be safe, be smart, and be here tomorrow.